I don't go to Christmas parties. First of all, I don't celebrate Christmas. Secondly, I don't go to station gatherings, generally speaking, because there's no purpose for it. I don't usually socialize with like 150 people, most of whom I don't even know, some of whom I like a lot, some of whom I can't stand, and many of whom I'm ambivalent about, and I don't care if I ever see them again. There's no point to it. Familiarity breeds contempt, as some have found out. But anyway, so I just don't go. But way back, like back in the summertime, there's certain somebody up front, I don't want to mention Sheryl again because her mother might be listening, always nudging, because I don't know what the deal is. Is there brownie points in it to con me, to coerce me into going to the Christmas party? What difference does it make if I go to the goddamn Christmas party or not? I don't want to be there. So all of a sudden, this became the deal because I had mentioned about the concert in Vegas, and I was going to try to get a hold of a friend of mine at Caesar's Palace, who it turns out is no longer there, and a couple of calls were made, and he's not there, and that was kind of the end of it. And then all of a sudden comes a new deal, and that is that this woman at Univision will get me tickets to the Luis Miguel concert at Caesar's if I go to the WIOD Christmas party, the WIOD influenza-spreading Christmas party. Which, by the way, most of the people in the building are out sick. I just thought you might want to know that. Seriously. They're not just taking an early busman's holiday for Christmas. Many of the people in this building are out sick with the same... And I know somebody could say, well, the flu is going around. That's true as far as that goes. But this is a separate flu. It's the IOD flu.
And many are in sick.
And many in the building, including me still, many of the people in the building are sick as well. Now, this is not the same corporate disease that we get regularly in the building from the vents up above or from the day that they were pouring poison gas in here for hours when my head started twitching and flickering, which every now and then it still does, just as a little reminder of what a pleasant place this is and what a great, safe environment this is not. But we had I told you the whole story about the Christmas party outside at the Triple K ranch, whatever the hell it was, with the 3 burning crosses and a bunch of horse droppings, and outside in the freezing cold, in the wind and the sleet and the rain and the other stuff. Freezing our asses off. An inane idea at best, an outrageous idea at worst. Asinine, stupid, and what was the point? So anyway, I went... I told you last Monday morning I was getting sick. I could feel the scratching in my throat. I fought it off all week long, and I had like varying degrees. And then Thursday night, sure enough, here it comes with the sniffling and the sneezing and the wheezing and the sore throat. And I knew I'm getting sick with my luck because the next day I'm getting on a plane to go to Vegas. So that was the first part. That's the part I'm angriest about. As it turns out. That's the part that pisses me off the most, because I'm sure I would have had, even though it turns out I did have a great time in Vegas, as far as it went, I would have had a much better time if I'd have been healthy, and if I wouldn't have been sick, and I could have spent a lot more time going through the MGM Grand, which I got to tell you is the most phenomenal place in the history of the human race. It is so huge, it is so vivid and massive, it is so gigantic, it is so packed with people, you have never seen anything like it in your life. I stayed at the Tropicana, which is right across the street from the MGM Grand. So Saturday morning we go over there, and I'm telling you, man, got lost twice, couldn't find my way out of there. Gigantic, huge casino, beautiful, lots of neon and sparkling and exciting. In fact, they have these new slot machines where you just put in the up to $100 bill, which is great for them because when you put the bill in there instead of getting the change, you're more inclined to play more of it, if not all of it, in that machine. So they're no dummies. And as it's getting closer, I'm asking, well, where's the tickets? Where's the stuff? Oh, you're going to have a backstage pass. You're going to have this. You're going to have that. You're going to go back there and do, all of this other great stuff. You're going to go get back there and give him a big kiss on the cheek. I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if Luis Miguel was like a human violin and I was the bow? Can you imagine the beautiful bow job? Well, anyway. So, I'm getting all these promises, and it comes the day before, okay? Thursday. And I'm saying to Sheryl, well, what's the story? Well, no, there's only one concert. It's on Saturday. There's no concert on Friday. Well, I knew that was a lie because I had the stuff from Vegas, the brochure from Caesars, December 17 and 18. No artist goes to Vegas for one day except Barbara with the crossed eyes who's going to be on New Year's Eve at the MGM Grand. Nobody goes there for one day. So that began to raise some doubts in my mind about this whole thing. Then I'm asking, well, okay, well, what time is that? We don't know. Nobody knows. Her good friend from Univision, who just has all the contacts but knows nothing. Knows nothing. So it was with a certain amount of crapitation that I got on a plane on Friday afternoon, and we flew out to Vegas and get there, and I, get to Vegas about 9 o'clock Friday night. And amazingly enough, drive up and down the strip, and there's like a big billboard with a very bad drawn picture, by the way, with like of Luis Miguel. And also on the marquee at Caesars, naturally in gigantic letters, it says, and this is Friday, December 17th, it says, Luis Miguel, December 17th and 18th. And I'm saying to myself, that's tonight and tomorrow, Friday and Saturday, just like I thought. Okay, now comes Saturday morning. And the last thing I was told, in this frantic psychosis that went on, all these tickets, they're going to deliver them right to your hotel. Where are you staying? I said, I'm staying at the Tropicana. Caesars was booked up. I couldn't get anywhere near there. I'm staying at the Tropicana, which is a good place to stay, a terrible place to gamble. But anyway, so that's the deal. I check in at the Tropicana. My real name is on the thing there, which I told them it's under my real name. I don't think there's too many behelfers staying at the Tropicana. And there should have been no problem. So starting Saturday morning, I get up about 8:30 in the morning. I'm calling downstairs to see, has there been a package delivered? Has there been an envelope delivered? Are there any messages? Nada. Nothing. I'm calling over to Caesars, to the will call, to the box office, to the Circus Maximus box orifice. Is there anything there for Neil Rogers? Is there anything under my real name? Nothing. Zippity-doo-dah. And I'm calling, and I'm calling, and I'm calling. And the reason I know that I was registered properly is because not only do I have the thing that they give you with your name on it, but on the TV in your room, it's in a computer. And you can check out on a computer, which I did. You can check your messages on a computer, which I did. And there was my name right in big bold letters like a neon goddamn sign. And yet, amazingly enough, I find out that there were 85 million people at least who tried to call me at the Tropicana that morning, alleged, and nobody could find me. And the least he can do is tell people where he's going to stay. I thought I did. So it comes to be about the middle of the day. I can't remember exactly what time, around noonish, 12:30, whatever it was. And my friend Dave, and I got to credit him or I'd have been shut out. He says to me, I don't think there's going to be anything. And I'm thinking to myself, how is that possible after all this big buildup, after blackmailing me to go to the Christmas party and get myself sick? I'm going to spend all this money to fly out to Vegas and they're going to stiff me, so to speak? That's not the kind of getting stiffed I had in mind out there, okay? And so sure enough, I call up at the box office because I assumed it probably was sold out. And we're asking, is it sold out? Are there any tickets left? And they're explaining, well, yeah, there's a few tickets left. You want $125 or $150 seats. And the 150 are a little bit closer, So I reserved 2 tickets. I pay for them with a credit card, and they're going to be there for that night. The afternoon wears on. I'm making calls. I'm looking for messages. Nothing. Zippity-doo-dah. Go over to Caesars that night at about, the concert was at 10, at about 9:30. Go to the box office, takes my credit card, runs it through the thing, gives me the 2 tickets. Comes to find out, they are 2 of the best, probably, I won't say the 2, but 2 of the best 10 seats in the whole house. They're like in the second table from the stage, about 10 to 12 feet maximum from the stage, from where you could reach out and touch his apparatus. And I'm thinking, holy Toledo, this is incredible. Right at the front of this second table, behind the first table, which of course is mostly like a lot of young, screaming, hysterical, crotch-grabbing, orgasmic women who are just foaming at the mouth and had to be restrained and kept jumping up on stage, and the security had to keep dragging him away, and just, the usual crap. So nobody would want to be sitting at that table anyway. There were a lot of guys who would like to have been sitting in my seats because there were a few young women. I didn't know they let cameras in those things, but there were a couple of women, very scantily clad, I would say in their early 20s, who kept standing right in front of my puss and like standing up and taking snapshots every once in a while. And the people behind me, some very emotional Latins, were like poking me in the back, like get them down and kick them in the ass and get them out of our face and that kind of stuff. So it's only because I made the call, and only because my friend Dave suggested I make the call, that I got any tickets at all. Are you following this? I came a posse hair away from not getting anything at all, so to speak, from being shut out. And the concert was so outstanding, I can't even begin. Thank God my ears had opened up about 80%, because my ears have been plugged up until yesterday. I mean, like a drum, like a snare drum from the flu. And the concert was beyond description. This kid is the greatest entertainer, better looking in person than anybody ever saw, although he did have that scruffy kind of a growth on his, like he's got in Suave in that video, but still looked just sensational. Performed. When you find out if a performer is good or not is when you see him live. There are a lot of people who are like studio recording artists, and in a studio, when you enhance their voice and you put all the 8 million tracks and lay it over each other, they sound pretty good. But when you see him in person, it's like, song, blue. I don't want to mention anybody in particular. But every song sounded not only as good, but even better than on record. Never missing a note, just phenomenal, unbelievable. And the thing they had, the light show and everything up on that stage in this Circus Maximus is so big league, so top-notch, so incredible. And then, of course, they're putting the lights on that segment of the entourage up there that's performing on a particular song, and they got like 4 scantily clad babes up there who are singing background vocals on one song. And then, of course, the guitarist and the sax player. And then all of a sudden, he comes out with No Say 2, and here they put the lights on. Here's like a whole big section of the Las Vegas Symphony Orchestra standing up there, doing their thing. I mean, it was a massive and vivid production, and it was just sensational. Sang for nearly 2 hours nonstop, with only about, I would say, 5 minutes in between. They did an instrumental number, 5 minutes. He went and changed clothes and came back with a shirt that was open like about 3 buttons down, at which point there was so much moisture in the air in that room, I'm telling you, I thought it was going to explode. I'm serious. I thought there was going to be a massive explosion, a volcano in that room. And these hyperventilating young women in that front table, man, they were kept jumping up on the stage and grabbing him, and the security had to keep coming out and dragging them off and kicking and screaming and grabbing and kissing and just,
This is the Best of Neil on WIOD and WSUN. This is South Florida's news, talk, and entertainment station. Now, back to the Best of Neil. WIOD.
Seems I'm out of change for once in my life. Should have planned ahead, put off the laundry to tomorrow night. Then I wanted some mellow mild, so I bought a candy bar from a vending machine. I parked my car on the street with a minute to feed. Not the king should have seen I used up all the change I need. Should have realized then, should have broke that 10, should have known that there'd be a toll booth on the way back home. That I got nowhere to go. That's why I'm asking you, Joe. I'm talking to the man in the toll booth. I'm asking him to make some change, but he answered, look, buddy, I just told you, if you want to pass the bridge, use the other lane, 'cause this lane's only exact change. I'm pleading with the man in the toll booth. I'm begging him to make some change, but he answers, look, pal, I just told you, now you gotta wheel your car to another lane. If you can't come up with exact change, then it's late at night, and I'm out of time. I gotta cross the bridge. All I need is a dime, a dime, a dime, from something, a dime. Come on, come on, hey Joe, a dime, come on, oh no, make some change.
My God, is that thing real?
Here's a lady mobile in Miami on the Star Line. Hello.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
Okay.
Let me ask you something. We've been seeing this Michael Jackson a couple years becoming weirder and weirder and
Yeah.
weirder.
Mhm.
We've visited his house. We've seen that it's not a normal environment. Hanging around with animals, hanging around with kids, taking them to Europe, sleeping with them, bathing them. So you tell me, how come these parents let their kids hang around with a weirdo.
But what about all those checks that we heard that Latoya said she saw all those canceled checks that were written to the parents?
Exactly.
It sounds to me like maybe they were like in business, these parents.
Exactly. There were pimps and their kids were the prostitutes.
The Scarlet Pimpernel, I think, is what we need to talk about here.
Because I don't care who Michael Jackson is or how much money he has. I won't let my son go to Europe with him or take a bath with him or sleep with him.
How about for $1 million?
No, I wouldn't.
How about $2 million?
No.
5?
I'll think about it.
There you go. There you go.
Well, what I'm trying to tell you is, you got two people that, 5 minutes. I'll tell you what, I'll give birth to another one.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe just one shower, okay? Maybe just a bath.
That's right. So I blame
I'll tell you one thing. It's safer than a shower with Jim Mandich. I'll guarantee you that.
Yes! But if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give. My penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted to help children all over the world.
That damn faggot. I can't stand him.
Then, of course, yesterday, I'm racing home. Hi, Stephanie. I see you're in charge now. I see that memo. Halcyon's going to be out for the next week. Boy, Gary's going to be out. Everybody's on a busman's holiday. Any problems, see Stephanie. And if Stephanie can't give you the answer, call Sheryl. Sheryl will take care of things. She'll get her good friend from Univision on there. She'll straighten it out. Oh, which reminds me, by the way, yesterday in telling giving all the pieces of this puzzle about my tickets and backstage pass and all this chazarai that was never left for me in Vegas, one important piece that I left out, which I think kind of adds to my reason for being a little bit dubious. That was Thursday as I'm leaving here. Sheryl says to me, "What's that bat line number?" I said, what do you need it for? Well, I'm going to have my lady friend, whatever the hell her name is, this bitch, call George tomorrow and give you all the information and how it's going to be set up. Well, to make a long story short, she never called this bitch. Did she on Friday? Never called, no. So she didn't know what the hell was going on. She never had any idea what was going on. But just keep in mind, there was only one show, and he's coming to Miami in November, even though November's already gone, and the tickets are up her ass. So if she ever stands up, if she ever gets off her ass, they might drop out. But thank you so much, whatever your name is. Oh, my God, just another. So I'm driving home frantically yesterday, because naturally all of America wanted to see at 3 o'clock this walking Barbie doll, whatever the hell it is. I mean, is it possible to get any more grotesque and bizarre? I mean, if it's possible, he can do it. With that ridiculous glue-on nose and that hair that looks like part of it is like pasted to his forehead and that voice. I know that when he was doing that video with Paul McCartney, he must have said in that same voice, "Oh, by the way, Paul, do you own the rights to all those old Beatles songs?" And Paul said, "No." And I said, "What do you think Michael really did to that 13-year-old boy?" And he said,
"He spun him right out of his jockstrap."
Here's a mobile in West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil. How's it going?
Okay.
Great show, first of all.
Of course.
And second of all, I have a question.
Yes?
Why is it that when you were arrested or when Tanner was arrested, all you could say was to wait until, the trial before you convict somebody, but now with Michael, you've got him convicted before,
First of all, that isn't what I said. I said that based on what the attorney says, you can't say anything until there's a disposition in court, that I wasn't able to say anything. You could say whatever the hell you want. Everybody's got an opinion on this, and based on things that I've been reading, why do we have to keep rehashing this? Based on what I've been reading for 6-7 years now, I believe all of the allegations, and I think it's only the tip of the iceberg. Are you not entitled to have an opinion?
Yes, you are. I agree with your opinion.
I'm sure that everybody who knew the story with Tanner had an opinion. Everybody who read the story about me had an opinion one way or the other. They're entitled to have an opinion. Whether it's right or not is another story.
Okay, I agree.
And not only that, but how do you compare what I was accused of with Michael Jackson? How do you make a comparison there?
I'm not comparing that.
So what are we talking about?
No, it's just the way you're saying that you should wait until there's a trial before you convict somebody for doing
Before
something.
You convict him, we're not convicting him, although Geraldo tried to do that on TV. I'm not saying we're convicting him, but I'm giving you what my opinion is, or shouldn't I do that?
No, you're right. You're right.
How about the Rodney King case? Were people talking about that? Did they have an opinion before it went to court?
Yes.
How about Ted Bundy? Did they have an opinion before he went to court?
Yes.
I can't think of any well-publicized case that people don't have an opinion on before it goes to court.
Okay. Okay, next question.
Give the man his day in court and then fry his ass is what I say. Okay.
The Best of Neil on WIOD and WSUN. If you thought waking up with Rick and Suds this morning was something, just wait until you drive home.
love this show.
Randy? Howard, God!
Randy's infectious, like a disease.
Randy Rhodes, now afternoons at 2, here on News Talk Radio 610, WIOD.
And the whole town's talking about it!
Now, the big news every weekday morning is Rick and Suds, right here. Now, back to the best of Neil.
WIOD.
Esta es el show de la mañana con Neil Rogers. Esta es su cerebro. ¿Tienes preguntas?
Here's West Palm Beach. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
What's up?
How you doing, pal?
All right. What were the jingles you played on there? Because you said they sounded better in stereo.
The jingles?
Yeah.
What jingles are you talking about?
It was just a couple days ago.
Jingles of what?
I think they were, you kept threatening them. You said if you don't, you like...
You're playing a bunch of, like, WABC jingles.
Oh, you mean the old WABC jingles and all the other radio jingles? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
As in, like this?
89 WLS.
Like that?
Yeah, but there was one that was on there real slow, and you said this is the kind of music you're going to listen to.
Cousin Brucey, I'm gonna treat you right. 77 WABC. Let's have some fun. WABC.
Yeah.
It sounded like, you know, the one you were threatening them. You said, well, this is how your radio is going to sound if you don't want talk radio, and it sounded real slow, like, and it was...
I know exactly the one you're talking about.
I mean, it was...
Like that.
That's the one.
Like Radio Death.
Oh, God.
And I was right, wasn't I?
Yeah. Well, before I go, I got something to let you hear, all right?
Yeah.
Tell me if you ever heard of this one.
Okay.
See the Beatles in the most of the most, A Hard Day's Night, so beat it. WERC 1360.
Beautiful. Here's Pompano Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yeah.
Hey, I was at the game last night.
All right.
But the big highlight happened for me after the game.
And?
Okay, I was coming out of Miami Arena.
Right.
You know, the big staircase.
Yeah.
So I'm walking, like, you know, trotting down the stairs. And
trotting on it.
Somebody had put, like, a squished apple or something on the stairs, and I slipped, and I slid, like, halfway down the stairs.
Really?
And I injured several parts of my body.
Woo!
Including my penis, my buttocks, my lower torso.
Oh, beautiful. Well, I wonder if Wayne's got insurance to cover all of those, huh?
But if I am guilty of anything, it is of giving all that I have to give. My penis, my buttocks, my lower torso, thighs, and any other area that they wanted to help children all over the world.
What do you guys think about this penis thing?
He thinks I'm joking. You know, how is it that you can be so useless, okay? I ask you for one little favor, to go down to accounting, see if there's anybody in there, and scream into the room, Neil wants his goddamn check now. What?
What are you doing for me?
Did I go to bat for this weasel or not? Did I go to bat for him? Did I sit in there and, like, when we had that other derelict, that other geek from Kendall working here, I went to bat for him, and now he wants me to do something for you? Not with that crappy outfit you got on. Forget it. It's one of his schmutzy days. Like I said, Adam's one of those guys. Like, about one day out of every 10, he looks really good, and the other 9, he looks like he just crawled out of a slime hole somewhere. That's because he's living with Marvin now. Here's Miami Beach on the Star Line. Hello.
If I am guilty of anything, it is of believing what God said about little children. Suffer the little children to come unto me.
Michael calling in on the celebrity line. And by Michael, I guess he wasn't finished yesterday. He will be soon.
Squirt, squirt.
Because that's one of our... See, it's about time, since we still have 2 hours left in the computer, that we started putting some of this and loading it in there, which I think maybe like next weekend one day, if there's time, I'll come in and put some stuff on a reel. And remember, that was another one of the highlights of 93. The big frothing at the mouth here about the computer project, which was a brilliant idea and works out very nicely for us, like right at the touch of a fingertip. We got all that stuff. We got rid of 2 or 3 cart racks in here. We got a little bit better organized. But, oh, my God, do it our way and take control yourself, because don't expect anybody in programming or middle-level management to take control of this massive project, because we can't be bothered with it. And then when we did work our ass and just put all kinds of stuff in there, oh, no, the stuff is too long. You got too many long bits in there. Take it all out. Take it all out. Because there are people who desperately and frantically need that time. We've only got a limited number of hours in the computer. We've only got so much hard drive, if I can say that. And here it is like the end of the year, and there's like 2 hours, 1 minute, and 6 seconds still left in there. Just dying in there.
I'm dying over here.
He's saying that in the concert. You know, when you go to see an artist that you like and they sing certain songs, even songs that you never really paid that much attention to before, maybe you didn't even like that much more, when you see an artist you love perform a song, then that, like, it just, all of a sudden you get hooked on that song, most of the time, I think. And it just enhances it in your pants. Let's do St. Petersburg. Hello.
Neil.
Yes.
You caught me by surprise.
Caught you off guard, uh-huh.
Yeah.
With your hands full.
You know, Larry King was on C-SPAN a couple days ago, I saw.
Yeah.
And he was on the press club, and he was giving a little, you know, he goes in, I guess he sucks around and ask questions.
Only $50.
Yeah. One quote he had was, I could interview myself, which I thought was pretty insightful.
Yeah, that's cute.
And
the world's greatest interviewer, and also the world's best writer of bad checks.
He referred to WIOD as the little station in Miami, WIOD. I thought that was pretty cute.
Isn't that cute, yeah.
What was your first break?
I went to work and knocked on doors and got a job at a small radio station in Miami Beach, Florida. I did everything. I did the board, I did jock, I did sports, I did news, I did everything. Cleaned up, I did everything. Nisa, horny?
Exactly. How about Michael Jackson's nose?
Yeah.
It looks like it's gone wild. I mean, I don't think he can even blow it without, like, switching it around. I mean, I bet he could move it.
Or his nose, either. Camille Vides. Anyway, I'm obsessed. I have an illness, man. I got to go for a lobotomy. I have to go and have a big operation and have them undrill that whole Luis Miguel thing from my brain. I thought I was obsessed before the concert. Now it's like, when do we get the schedule? You should have asked Mike Nadal when we get the schedule of the tour for 1994. Because I got to start booking all my flights now. And, of course, Sheryl will have to get all her contacts to make sure she gets me my tickets and backstage passage. Here's Palm Beach. Hello. Palm Beach.
Hello.
Hello.
Neil?
Yes.
You're a jerk, and Rush Limbaugh.
Okay, Rush Limbaugh's God, okay? There's another little Nazi in training. I'm sure that Daddy put him on the phone. Daddy is busy burning a cross out on the front lawn, and Daddy put little Billy on the phone to say that I'm a jerk and Rush Limbaugh's God. And go up, put your little Nazi uniform on and your little swastika, and go up and down the streets and paint some swastikas on some Jewish people's houses. And have a nice holiday, Billy. And God rest ye merry gentlemen. Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How are you today?
Great.
Hey, Neil, is there any possibility that Luis Miguel might be Jewish?
Possible. There's only one way to find out for sure. And I would like to volunteer to do the investigative work.
The reason I asked, I did a recent trip up to North Carolina recently. We decided to take a quick trip across the state of Tennessee, go towards Memphis and see the old Graceland.
Mm-hmm.
And just before Graceland, you spot, believe it or not, a temple by the name of Temple B'nai Yahoo.
Yahoo.
And
I love it.
And I went inside, and I see pictures of Elvis all over the walls. And I said to the rabbi, "What's the story going on here?" I said, "Rabbi O'Malley, what's the story going on here?" And he turned to me, and with apologies to Steve McQueen and Alan Sherman, he said that Elvis Presley's Jewish. Would you believe it? He's just like you and I, loves Memphis, Matzah Bride, and Priscilla's a Shayna Madel. Could you conceive it?
Yes!
Such a living doll in her mikvah shawl.
Oh!
Colonel Tom Sephardic, Father Vernon, and Lisa Marie.
Increíble.
They have all been davening since they sat on their mammy's knees. Sing a joy. Elvis became Hasidic. Would you believe it?
Oh!
Had a bris. Oh! And grew some payas too. As a matter of fact, the ganze Mishpacha is glad kosher since they were converted by you. Where's Rabbi Leroy?
Yes!
Elvis
Oy.
Yahoo's show miss you.
Oh!
It's my
Beautiful.
Christmas present to you.
A beautiful job, sir.
And this was Mr. 99 Span.
All right.
Thank you, Neil.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Beautiful.
I've had a lot of thrills in my life.
Oi!
3 kids, a gorgeous wife. Such looks. I'm thrilled about my car, Riviera, my sister Sarah, and John O'Hara's books. But the thrill of thrills that gave my heart a clout was the thrilling night when I thrillingly found out.
Neil, God!
Steve McQueen is Jewish, would you believe it?
Yeah.
He's just like you and I. Couldn't you almost die? And Cary Grant is Jewish, could you conceive it?
Yes.
Such a living doll in a prayer shawl.
Okay.
Mild and gentle, Jewish, Pat O'Brien and Richard Punty. Not to mention that lovely couple, Harry and Bella Punty. Frank Sinatra's Jewish, would you believe it? Sean Connery and Lyndon Johnson, too.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, the whole world is Jewish since I fell in love with you, Rosie McGonagall. Since I fell in love with you.
Oh. And maybe even that great Private Dick Shylock Holmes and his brother John.
You're listening to the Best of Neil on WIOD and WSUN. It's a different kind of sports show. Sports Talk 610 every night at 6 right here. Now, back to the Best of Neil.
WIOD.
You can't flush this. You can't flush this. You can't flush this. You can't flush this. My lunch hits me so hard, makes me say, oh my Lord, thank you for blessing me with the runs and gas like you wouldn't believe. Feels good when you're sitting down, doing your business, getting down and brown. But I didn't know as such, there's a water shortage, so you can't flush. I told you, homeboy, you can't flush this. Shouldn't have had that chili dog, babe. You can't flush this. Look at my eyes, man, they're red and water. You can't flush this. Yo, let me flush a funky lyric for you right now. You can't flush this. You're 3-year-old, get you out of your seat. He's learned about the party and he thinks it's new. He's pulling a handle, laughs like a clown as your keys and Rolex watch go down, they're swirling. And such, what can you do? Not very much. What makes you mad is that night he goes in his pants, it smells like a fright. Let him know as such, he does it again and his head will be flushed. Yo, I told you, homeboy, you can't touch this. Do it again and I'll sell you to the gypsy. He tried to flush this. Get out of my way, man. You drink a lot, you're out of rhythm. You got the sweats and the room is spinning and now you know you drive the porcelain bus and so you throw up and such. You leave the seat up and you're in a real Dutch. Cause your lady has to go. She sits right down and her butt cheeks get so wet. Real schmuck. She's wedged in tight. Now she's stuck. That's word because you know you can't flush this. Man, I think you're in deep. Can't flush this. Come on, man, let's flush it down. Can't flush this.
And then, of course, we had the Jazzmeister on over the weekend. Are we going to do a survey to find out who took that dump on the floor downstairs? Do we, Oh, one thing about Jazz McKay, he and his entourage have sure added an interesting element to this building. Make no mistake about it. And Jazz left some of his apparatus behind here. I didn't know to whom it belonged, but I picked it up off the copy file and dropped it all on the floor. So as I'm picking it up and putting it back into the briefcase or whatever that thing is, I'm noticing some very strange ramblings on there. I mean, some really bizarre and strange and wild and interesting stuff. I don't know what the hell they're going to do here. I really don't, but they better do something soon, because during this, as we look back in this retrospective that everybody does at the end of the year, one of the things that I can say beyond the shadow of a doubt is that the new regime here has done such a hatchet job on this radio station, and I know it every day that I come in here, you have to work like 20 times as hard because you're dealing with 40% less audience than we had when they came here, like last winter in the winter book before they had a chance to burger it all up, which they've done a magnificent job of. And the more you talk to them, to me, one of the great moments of this past year was when I was invited to lunch to give my ideas to our leader. And I sat there, and everything that I told him virtually was like tossed out the window. And like the very next day, like, oh, no, we're not going to do this, and we're not going to do that, and on your own business, and I don't want to hear about it again. Okay. Because one thing about it, when you work for other people, more often than not, they know it all. You can't tell them anything. If, like, their leg, if there's blood pouring out of their leg and they don't realize it, you say, hey, what's that coming out of your leg there, Bob? What's that pouring all over the floor? Just, I'm in charge here. Just leave me alone. I can handle it, okay? Don't start being alarmist. You're causing trouble. But that pool of blood, it's getting like there's like gallons of blood. Don't worry about it. I'm in charge. I'll take care of it. I'm just numb. Very spotty here. I understand it. You're all taking back a lot of crap. You're busy. You're getting your life reorganized again. Adam is going to come in here and finish the show today because he's a superstar now. He was on with Marvin Saturday night, and he says that Jazz only heard 50 minutes of the show, and in spite of that, went on and ripped them in the ass and made all kinds of intemperate and... I didn't hear the show, so I can't say one way or the other. I thought it was great. I thought it sucked. Okay, so now it's evened out. I don't know what it was. We had the one guy who called. He said it wasn't great, it wasn't bad, but he enjoyed it. So what more can you want? But that Adam needs to take a couple of doggy downers and relax a little bit and not be so hyper next time, assuming there is a next time. Now, I don't know if they're going to be... Are you being invited back, or was that just a one-shot deal? How about New Year's Eve? Huh? Who the hell in their right mind would want to come in here and work on New Year's Eve? I would be surprised if they come back again for one more shot this Saturday.
Okay.
There you go. It's all yours.
Randy's on New Year's Eve.
No, I mean New Year's night. Huh? Saturday, New Year's night. You'll be straightened out by then. You can get it straightened out by then. I mean, I'm going nuts from this already. Anyway, here's a message for Bob Green from David Paul.
Unbelievable.
It says, use me while someone else is on vacation. Use me, abuse someone else is on vacation.
Unbelievable.
Beauty. Okay, David, right in here. Maybe David could come in and just leave a little pile downstairs.
This is the Best of Neil on WIOD and WSUN. 610 WIOD. For over 60 years, we've been South Florida's news station during the Persian Gulf War, in times of unrest in the city, in the fury of Hurricane Andrew, and in the celebration of Super Bowl. South Florida's most qualified news team has been there with reliable, accurate information 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The 610 WIOD News Center, living up to the responsibility of being best.